In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a makeup session for students who are absent. We're going to set up one testing session with students that have different tests. If I go to Manage Test Sessions, I can find my students to test. If I know specifically which students I need to find, I can use this tab with the student search and fill in all of my information for a specific student. But if I'm not quite sure who missed the reading test or the math test, I can use the tab behind which says Test History Search. If I click on that, I would fill in my information. And then I would look down here under the tests. So I'm going to be looking for kindergarten students. So I know I need to choose a different test. I'm looking to see which students missed the reading primary test, which is in the kindergarten section. If I look over here, I would click Not Yet Started, or if I knew I had a student that had started and for some reason had not finished. So the first thing I'm going to do is click Not Yet Started. And I search. Okay, so according to this search, these students have not yet started the test. If I know for sure which student happens to be here today, because they may not all be here at the same time, I can choose their names. So I'm going to unselect them all and only choose the two students that were absent that are here today. I'm going to add these students. These were two students who needed the reading test. So if I scroll down, I can test now. Now this is a little tricky part here. If you'll notice on my screen, I do not have the test assigned. I do have my students, but no test. So I'm going to give them the test from here. And they needed the reading test. So map primary. Okay. And I'm going to assign it. Okay. Now, let's also say that I probably have some more students that were absent that might need the math test. So I'm going to add more students. And I'm going to search for those students. If I go to my test history, fill in the information. This was a kindergarten class. I'm going to look to see which kindergarten students did not take the math test in this class. And I can search. What you may notice is the same student was absent for both days. You can only take one test per session. So if you have a student that needed both reading and math, you can only assign one of those tests. However, I did notice that Michaela is here and does need to take the math test. So I'm going to choose her name and add her to my clipboard. You'll notice down here, I've got a testing session going, and it says Save and Return to Testing. Okay, so I'm back to my session screen. I've got my two students waiting for reading, and I know I need to assign Michaela the math test. So I'm going to select her name, Assign Test, and I'm looking for the math primary grades, and I'm going to assign that. So now I have 3 students ready to go. They're sitting with their Chromebooks or in the computer lab. They're computer lab since they're kindergartners, and each of them has a personalized test for their needs today. Now I want to give them all the testing session name and the password. The computer's generated a testing session name. I didn't have to save that. and the session password. Give those to the students to log in, and then they will get a screen that says confirm. If you select all of your students, and if you refresh the screen, the status should change for those students as they are logging in and getting a confirmation. The status will say waiting to be confirmed. If they're all ready to be confirmed at the same time, select all students, select action, and confirm. And that's easy. At that point, all of your students will be ready to start the test. When the test is complete, click End Testing Session. You can change the name if you want, or you can keep the same name. I typically don't delete sessions, I just save and exit.